I think I ought to start with that I do in fact believe in a soul, holy and divine, though its constitution easily wavering, if not fed. So we seek out things for it to consume without much consideration for nourishment. As a child, my mother had tried to raise me Catholic. I've come to believe that children are not capable of true faith. They are too new to the world. Children are still so close to the spiritual act of creation that they have no need for faith. Faith only comes after separating and growing away from the source, for faith is the act of deciding to reconnect. Sitting in church, I knew I was different than the others around me. The pews were filled with believers, and I, the intruder sitting amongst them, was filled with fear. I was envious of their comfort, but I could not do as they did to achieve it, relinquish their power to Him in exchange for guidance. I want a certainty to follow, one that I do not have to fear or argue, but I want it to come from within myself, from my own power. Their guiding light is God, but my guiding light comes from within myself. My certainty will come from my own strength, from within my own soul. My own spirituality is a work of my creation, weaving magic into my life with the wisdom of tarot. Pulling wisdom out of the cards was like finding a wand amongst the firewood. I am grateful to them, for it's here where I am able to find the peace and security I needed to grow myself. The same peace that the isolate landscape provides to the hermit. And with his lantern, the hermit finds his own way. This is where my philosophy begins. How does one find their own way in the dark and cold world with only a lantern to guide them? The lantern must be strong. You must feed it good fuel. The spark must be authentic, and the fire must be bright enough to follow. The lantern provides light for people to follow. The choice you must make is whether you will follow another's light, or have the strength to create your own. I know why many people wouldn't do this for themselves, and would instead choose to follow. They fear that carrying the lantern will be too heavy, and tending the flame will be too exhausting. And this may be true. I will not lie. But for those who desire it anyway, know there are only 3 things you will need. The fuel, offerings for growth. Like the sticks fed to the fire, fuel is not something you take in, it is something you sacrifice. And once you let go, it will never be the same again. Wood transforms to ash. And if you refuse to let go, the fire will die. The spark, action to change. Wood in and of itself cannot help us. It is how we change and shape it that defines how it shapes us. But first, it must change. A wildfire waiting to happen patiently sits within you in the form of a spark. The guiding light. Lessons which allow me to see the path before me. The darkness can be hard to step out of when it is all your eyes have seen. The light can illuminate the monsters around you, monsters you don't feel ready to face. The light can hurt, if only for a moment. But one must trust that our eyes will adjust, that our sight will teach us the way to follow. See the light, and be not afraid. The light that shines is defined by the content of your soul, and thus the lessons laid out will be unique to each lantern bearer. This philosophy is not to cultivate a following, or to align us all with a narrative truly suited to only a few. It is to remind us all that we do have the strength to create our own lantern, not to hide in the darkness or even to follow another's light out of fear. With that being said, I share this philosophy, not out of a desire to influence, but out of gratitude to the lessons now laid before me in my life. The path laid before me is brighter than ever before, just by acknowledging these simple few truths. Seek love from myself, not others. Not feel bound by a narrative that speaks less of me. Empower myself to write my own narratives. Redefine the borders between who I am and who I want to be. Abandon fear of being perceived. Follow the things I love without fear. Not be afraid of failure. Not feel burdened by the process of creating. Alchemize beauty out of moments of dread. And prioritize sacred over useful. I want to thank you all for taking the time to watch and listen. I want to thank you for allowing me to share this philosophy with you. I truly do hope that each and every one of you gives this philosophy a shot, and I hope that your lantern is bright and beautiful. But first, see the light and be not afraid.